Hello, hello. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Rather than talk about the latest new products, today I'm going to share 10 makeup products, categories, or techniques that I do not buy or use. Now, some of these might be unpopular opinions. I'm not saying these are bad products or techniques. I'm not telling you not to buy them or use them. I am not trying to de-influence you, which is the latest YouTube buzzword. These are products that simply for one reason or another either don't work for me or I'm just not very interested in. At any rate, I thought this might be a fun change of pace. I always love hearing from you, so please share your thoughts on any or all of these products. What are your favorites? What are your not favorites? That could be a really fun and interesting conversation. As always, I will have timestamps, product links, discount codes, lots and lots of info in the description box below, as usual. And with that, let's get into it. Category number 1, and that is primer. I don't own a single dedicated foundation primer. Here's the thing. My skin is really quite dry, and foundation tends to last pretty well on my skin, probably because my skin doesn't produce a lot of natural oil. And I don't have particularly enlarged pores or a lot of texture, so I don't need the pore filling or the smoothing. As long as I prep my skin really well with excellent skincare, a quality moisturizer, and of course, SPF, I expect my foundation to apply smoothly and last well without a primer. If I do need extra longevity, for instance, on a hot, humid summer day, I'll use a setting powder or a setting spray. But primers is just one category that I don't use. The exception to this is I do sometimes enjoy using a glowy product under a foundation, for instance, if I need to alter the finish of the foundation. On those days when my skin is looking a little extra dull, or if foundation is leaning a little bit too matte, I might add a glowy product under the foundation. I guess that is sort of a primer, if you will. e.l.f. Halo Glow will add a beautiful glow to any foundation, either under or mixed in with the foundation. And one of my newer products is from Saie. This is a mini. This is a gorgeous gel cream, very hydrating, adds a beautiful glow and luminosity to the skin, either alone on bare skin or under makeup. And my latest product is from Merit. It is their beautiful, what is it? Their Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I'm not sure if this is skincare or a glowy complexion product, but it is gorgeous, it is hydrating, and it definitely adds glow. But I don't really consider these types of products to be actual primers. Speaking of primers, I've never been super into eyeshadow primers. You know, several years ago when I first got back into makeup, I tried so many of the popular eyeshadow primers, several from Urban Decay, Milani, MAC. None of them really seem to make that big of a difference for me. Again, my eyelids are not oily. Eyeshadow doesn't tend to crease on me. My big issue is with discoloration, and concealer really does the trick for that. Having said all that, I did recently try an eyeshadow priming stick from Sigma that I'm absolutely loving. This not only corrects the discoloration on my eyelids, but it seems to hydrate and smooth the skin on my eyelids. And I will actually wear this even on days where I'm not wearing eyeshadow because it just looks so pretty. I know it comes in several different shades. I will list the shade in the description box. So while eyeshadow primer is not a product that I typically shop for, test, or review, I have to admit I am loving this from Sigma, and it is super affordable as well. Category number 2. Full coverage matte or powder foundations simply do not work on my 63-year-old very dry skin. They tend to make me look like an ancient dried up prune. My preference in foundation is for a light to medium coverage with a satin skin-like to a radiant or glowy finish. Last summer when I did my L'Oreal Roundup video, I specifically did not review their full coverage matte or powder foundations. It just wouldn't have been fair for me to review them since I know they don't work for me. Not to say full coverage or matte is bad. If you want an extra perfected look or you have combo or oily skin, these might be your go-to products. And there are plenty of creators here on YouTube reviewing those type of products, but you will not be seeing full coverage matte or powder foundations on my channel. Category number 3, setting powders. Such a tricky area for my 63-year-old very dry skin. Years ago when I first got back into makeup, I tried quite a few of the luxury loose setting powders that were super popular on YouTube, Laura Mercier, IT Cosmetics. Everything seemed to age me at least 20 years. I did find a couple of really beautiful loose setting powders. Hourglass Veil is a gorgeous one. e.l.f. Halo Glow is a beautiful powder. Both of these powders are loose powders. They're lightweight, they're silky. They set your makeup, remove the shine, leave the glow. But for whatever reason, I haven't reached for either one of these in a very, very long time. You know, most days I don't even use a setting powder, but I seem to prefer pressed powders. I absolutely love my Kosas Cloud Set, my Physician Formula Butter Believe It, and my all-time favorite pressed powder, I'm sure you're going to guess, Hourglass Ambient Glow Finishing Powder. Absolutely gorgeous on mature skin. I think you can see I have hit pan. I never want to be without this. So powders are really tricky. They don't really appeal to me. Very often I don't even wear a powder. I'm not wearing a powder today. So in general, I'm not really in the market for new powders. Certainly no loose setting powders, since I have two beautiful ones that I never use. But if you have a beautiful setting powder that you recommend, please let us know in the comment box, because again, it's such a tricky area for us older ladies, especially if you have dry skin. Anyway, category number 3, setting powders. Blingy metallic highlighters. It does seem like they're going out of style, but they have never worked for me. Especially the powder metallic highlighters accentuate every single line and wrinkle. I do have one pretty blingy powder highlighter I just can't seem to declutter, and it is the Revlon Skin Lights. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. But I never ever use it as a highlighter. I sometimes use this as an eyeshadow. I do have a couple of really soft, really pretty powder highlighters. Essence Pure Nude never accentuates lines and wrinkles, and I really do enjoy the powder highlight in the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow. Again, both of these are super soft, subtle, just add a glow without accentuating lines and wrinkles. But in general, I really do prefer a cream or liquid glowy highlighter, more to add a dewy glow than an actual shine. A couple of my favorites, you know, I love my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I did a video comparing this to the e.l.f. Halo Glow, and while they are very close, I prefer the e.l.f. Halo Glow under makeup or mixed in with makeup, and I really do prefer the Charlotte Tilbury on the cheeks over makeup as a glowy highlighter. I also love my Merit Glow Balm. Oh my gosh, this is just such a pretty glowy balm. And from the drugstore, Burt's Bees The Luminizer, super, super gorgeous. But in general, you know, highlighters are just tricky when you have older, mature skin. They can tend to accentuate lines and wrinkles. So I am very selective in products that I want to try. Again, if you have any standout products you want to recommend, leave them in the comment box. But in general, I'm not really in the market for any highlighters right now. Category 5, face palettes. I have to admit, I am often intrigued and tempted by the concept of face palettes. Who wouldn't want everything you need in one easy, travel-friendly palette? Unfortunately, the several face palettes that I have purchased just haven't worked out for me. There's always at least a couple of shades that are the wrong shade or the wrong tone, and I wound up decluttering. So currently I am very hesitant when it comes to face palettes, and they're sort of off my radar for the moment. I will say every year Hourglass comes out with a face palette that is very tempting to me, but so far they always include shades that I already own. So if Hourglass ever comes out with a face palette that doesn't duplicate the shades I already own, I will probably pick that up. And never say never, because just this morning I saw a Facebook ad for a Laura Geller face palette, some neutral eyeshadows, blush, bronzer, a couple of highlighters, which I do not need a couple of highlighters. So even though it's off my radar and I'm hesitant, I am considering the Laura Geller simply because I've never tried a Laura Geller formula. It might be a good way to try. See, I'm already talking myself into it. But in general, face palettes are something I do hesitate before purchasing. They're sort of off my radar. If you have a good face palette that you love and recommend, please let us know in the comment box. Number 6 is more of a makeup technique. I suppose it's also a makeup category. Anyway, it is contour. As much as I am mesmerized by some of these amazing contouring videos, the magic of makeup, I am just not skilled enough to make contouring look natural. I do, of course, use blush, bronzer, and highlight to add dimension to my face, maybe even a little bit of shape, but out and out contour is just not in my skill set. And as we age, we do lose volume in our face, so I like to say that nature has contoured for me. Another product that I don't use, mostly because of lack of skill, is false eyelashes. Now, false eyelashes come in all shapes and sizes. They can look beautifully natural or elegantly glam. I just have never been able to get the hang of them, and believe me, I have tried. In my early 50s, my eyelashes really started getting skimpy, so I really tried with the false eyelashes. I just couldn't do it. So, no shade on false eyelashes. My friend who has the channel, Mel C Beauty, rocks them beautifully, and I know BK Beauty and Risa Does Makeup just came out with an eyelash collab that looks gorgeous, just not for me. Thank goodness I discovered Revitalash Eyelash Growth Serum about 4 or 5 years ago. It has literally saved my eyelashes. It has given me length and volume. I even think it has helped my eyelashes curl a little bit. I don't even own an eyelash curler. Revitalash is a little on the pricey side. I know there are some less expensive alternatives, but I'm afraid to try anything else because, like I said, Revitalash has literally saved my eyelashes. It comes in 3-month tubes, 6-month tubes. It always lasts me much longer because currently I use it 4 or 5 times a week for maintenance. I always look out for sales. Nordstrom Anniversary Sale frequently has it on sale during the summer. Revitalash just recently had it 20% off during National Lash Day. So whenever I find a good sale, I try to make a post on my community page. So keep your eye out on that. But anyway, back to false eyelashes. You're not going to see any false eyelashes on my channel, mostly because of lack of skill and Revitalash. Number 8 is yet another product that I don't own due to lack of skill. Clearly, I am no makeup artist. I have just never been able to get the hang of liquid eyeliner. I don't own any liquid eyeliner. I have no plans on purchasing any. I really do enjoy pencil eyeliners. I just think they're super easy to use. They give a nice, soft look. Now, don't get me wrong. My fantasy self would love to rock a classic winged liquid eyeliner. It's just not in the cards for me. Number 9 is an entire category of makeup that I no longer purchase, and that is backups. And I learned this the hard way, not once, not twice, but several different times. Let me give you an example. For many years, I absolutely loved Physician Formula Shimmer Strips Eye Pencil for my tight line and my lower lash line. And when it became more and more difficult to find, I panic purchased several backups. Ultimately, I found other eyeliners I liked as much or even more, and those shimmer strips sat in my drawer, dried out. Ultimately, I had to throw them away. And that happened to me with a couple of different products. So now when I feel like a product is getting more and more difficult to find, and I think it might be discontinued, rather than buying backups, I put my effort into finding new alternatives. Case in point, L'Oreal Eyeliner. Talked about that for ages. I love it for my tight line. It is getting more and more difficult to find, so I am actively looking for alternatives. The other reason is once a product is no longer available, it sort of takes the fun out of it. Part of the fun of makeup for me is sharing it on my channel, sharing it with my family and friends. So once it's no longer available, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that fun anymore. And by the way, that is one of the reasons I also do not purchase limited edition makeup. I don't want to fall in love with a product that is no longer going to be available. And lastly, I've never gotten into subscription boxes, even though it does sound like fun, sort of like Christmas, and is usually a bargain as far as price goes. You know, I purchase products very thoughtfully, either for review on my channel or perhaps it's something that I personally want or need. The idea of random products showing up at my door that I didn't personally select just doesn't appeal to me. Having said that, this might be a never say never situation because I did just read something about Ipsy and BoxyCharm merging and having some really customizable options. So again, never say never, but up until this point, I have never purchased a subscription box. They have never interested me, but never say never. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to throw it a thumbs up, and please share your thoughts below. I love the sharing that goes on in the comment box. If you would like to hang out a little bit longer, YouTube will be showing one of my videos up next. But if you do have to go, have yourself a great day, a wonderful week, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.